Well, I would like to thank everyone that is here tonight. You are all very, very special to us and to where we are today. You have contributed a ton. I would like to especially thank my immediate family, to my sister, maid of honor, and my brother. I'm excited that you now have another brother or a brother in your life. I'd like to thank my mom who has put together this entire wedding. It would not be possible without you. And I know we've butted heads on a lot of things, which I'm sure every bride and their mother does. But I am just very, very thankful to have you in my life, and to my dad that has paid for all of this and actually has helped out with several things. And I'm just very appreciative to you and everything that you've done for not only this wedding but for me throughout my entire life to get me to where I am today. I'd also like to thank Logan's parents for putting together this night. It's so special to us, and to have everyone here to celebrate this entire weekend and special day with us. We're excited to share it with you. Most importantly, just would like to thank God for putting this incredible man in my life and blessing us beyond. We're very, very blessed. And I'm just very thankful that we have the opportunity and we have all of you in our lives to share this amazing and wonderful weekend with. So thank you.
First of all, I just want to thank you, Mom and Dad, for always being there for me, for raising me to be the man that I am today, for putting all this on for us tonight. It's amazing just to have you two in my life. I'd like to thank Travis and Jared, too, for always being the rough big brothers and helping, Mom and Dad keep me in line whenever I needed it. But I'd also like to thank Gavin and Kelly for taking me into your family and for raising Erin to be just such a beautiful, amazing woman. And I'd also like to thank everybody that came from out of town, from Houston, from Corpus, from Granbury, from Bridge City, from Orange, everybody that came from out of town. Thank you for sharing in this, with us today and tomorrow especially. And then to all my roommates that put up with me and Erin in college, for always being the ones on the couch that were probably hogging the TV when y'all wanted to watch. Thanks for putting up with us and being great friends.
So Logan and I, we first met in chapel at Baylor, and I was with one of our friend Cham, who was my flag football coach freshman year. So that's how I knew him. But Logan and him knew each other, I think, from the Woodlands. Anyway, I went and sat right in front of Logan and his friend. And anyway, Cham introduced us, and I heard him say his name was Logan. I knew a guy back from school named Logan Barrett. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have a friend named Logan Barrett. And he just looked at me and he's like, that's not my name. And that was the end of our conversation for the rest of that day, minus the fact that him and whoever he was sitting next to proceeded to kick my chair the entire time. I don't know if that was flirting or what. So, yeah, love at first sight for sure.
I'm sure she told you the first time we met was chapel freshman year, which I'm just going to have to clarify now. Never happened. I don't know if that was my evil twin or what. I'm sure she said I kicked the chair and that I was rude to her about my name. But I don't remember any of that, and I have a pretty good memory, so usually I'm going to remember meeting a beautiful girl like that and being an absolute gentleman.
I did think he was very cute, but it was such a short meeting, but it did stick out in my head because of just, I knew the name, and so when I met him again, really, I was attracted to him at first, but it's just kind of weird how it all worked out. His personality is just something that I was really, really attracted to. He's funny, and honestly, I felt like he didn't even give me the time of day for the first few weeks because he's in his own world. And that was something that I loved about him, was that he doesn't really care what anyone else around him is doing or thinking. He's going to do what he wants to do, and but also at the same time very thoughtful. And we always had a great time together. Even we went to the grocery store a couple times together, and he made me laugh like no one else has ever made me laugh. So that was really what made me fall in love with him.
one of her best features is when she smiles. I mean, she could make a room stand still. It's unbelievable. And so, when she first met me, she just wanted to, I guess she was happy. I don't know. Maybe I was decent looking enough for her to be. So, or maybe she thought my roommate was better looking. I don't know. So she was smiling nonetheless. And that's all I think I kept staring at was her smile. And it captivated me. I was like, I need to hang out with this girl more. I got to see more of this smile. I need to make her laugh so I can, see that smile. And I feel like that was my goal. And that's probably one of the other reasons I like her so much, or, originally was attracted to her was, I mean, I have the worst jokes ever. And, my roommates and my teammates can attest to that. But I kind of live for that. I just come up with bad jokes, and it'll the more awkward, the better, I think. But she always laughed at them, and sometimes they'll laugh at them too, but I could always count on Aaron to laugh at them, and it made me feel so good about myself. I thought I was the man.
I've always been a pretty goofy person, but before Logan, I never felt like I had that partner. And when we're together, it's a team effort to be the goofiest people around. I never had the chance to dance like I wanted to when we would go out. I never had a better two-step partner. That's something that's really changed for the better.
We like going to the movies. We like doing all kinds of things, sporting events. We love going to the Cowboys games or the Rangers games or all kinds of stuff like that, concerts. And one of the big things, I think this is one of the things that really made her fall in love with me, was we love to go dancing. I love to two-step. And we'll be one of the only ones out there dancing, but we're out there cutting a rug, and we don't care who's looking or who's watching. We just have fun dancing with each other.
Like I said, I had 3 roommates that kind of were there for the entire process of Logan and I's, the beginning of our relationship, especially one, she's my bridesmaid, Bonnie. And one time I came upstairs after hanging out with Logan. I don't know if we'd watched a movie or... Anyway, I came back upstairs and I was like, Bonnie, I think I love Logan. And she really kind of blew me off and was like, oh my gosh, Erin, you've known him like 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, but I do. I think I do. But I think we were both kind of kidding around. But I think I did at that point already, which is odd.
Well, I'd never said it to anybody before. Any girl. I've said it to obviously my family and stuff, but I'd never said it to a girl before. I just never felt that, the urge to say it to a girl before. I've never felt like I actually loved a girl before, as friends, definitely, but as a, future wife, future mother, your children, kind of love. And so one night I walked her up to her, to her apartment.
I looked at him, I was like, do you love me? And he was like, well, do you love me? And we kind of just changed the subject. Didn't go back to it. And then I did it a couple times throughout the week.
So obviously, I turned it around on her, being the clever guy that I am. So I said, do you love me? And she says the same thing back, I don't know. So the next night, same kind of deal, walk her up, say goodnight. I'm walking out, and she stops me again and goes, hey, I think I love you. And I told her, I was like, I've thought about it a lot since you asked me that question last night. And I told her, I was like, I think I love you too. So that's how it started. I think I love you. We're not real, I didn't even know, because I'd never said it, before. And I'm not a real emotional guy, I don't show emotion too much, and I don't like to give away my, show my cards, I guess. So I said, I think I love you too. And then just after that, it just came a lot easier. I definitely felt like I could open up to this girl. I said I loved you all the time. She said it back all the time. And it started as a question, do you love me? And I don't know. And then the day later, I think I love you. And then a day later, I know I love you,
The first time I ever met anyone from his family, it was his brother. And his brother was at A&M at the time. And so me, his roommate Trent, and Logan, we all took a trip up there and had a really great time. So I had a really good first impression, I feel like, with his brother. And then his family was kind of thrown into meeting them all at once. I came to Corpus and stayed here for about a week. And really, we got along great. There are a ton of similarities with our family. He has two other siblings. I have two other siblings, very loud families. And there's just a lot of similarities that I found. Just the feeling of being around family. They felt like, even after being there just a week, like they could be my family. So it's going to be a really easy transition. I feel like I've already adopted not just his immediate family, but the entire Verrett and Huckabee family. I feel like I really fit in well, and he fits in so great with my family.
I couldn't ask to be going into a better family. Just their family dynamic is so similar to my family. We both come from family of 3 kids. She's got a brother and a sister. I got 2 brothers. Her little brother is just the biggest baseball fan in the world. So that was an instant fit right there. I had somebody to talk to all the time about baseball. And he obviously, asked me and picked my brain like crazy about baseball. And her dad, same deal, was pretty intrigued by the fact that I played baseball. And so it was kind of cool bouncing off, different various topics, but we could always, go back to baseball. And I feel like that was our kind of our hub, for conversation. We always went back to there. And then her fitting in with my family, I mean, it was just an instant fit. My mom, obviously, she had three boys. She's always wanted a daughter. So I feel like my mom just kind of took her and was like, you know what, I'm gonna make you my daughter. I know that you're not officially yet, but one day maybe, one day hopefully. So I think my mom just loved anytime Aaron came around, anytime she was either in Waco visiting, or if Aaron went down to Corpus and visited my family. So I mean we both just, great families. Never a dull moment really in either one. I can go to her house and I never feel awkward. I feel like I'm very welcomed. I feel, from day one, from the very first time I ever visited Kennedale, Texas, and even, it goes all the way to her grandparents, grandmommy and granddaddy. First time I met them, it was just, it was an instant fit. I felt like I didn't feel like I didn't belong. I didn't feel like an outcast. I felt like they welcomed me in like I was one of their grandkids. And same with Grandma Phoebe. The first time I went to her lake house, and she just loved having me there, I felt like, and I loved being there. So the families that we're going into, for me to go into the Hunt family and for her to come into the Verrett family, it's just, we're extremely lucky. We really are, to have 2 families that love us as much as they do.
After December and I had graduated, I kind of kept waiting for it to happen. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen before he left for spring training, which was middle of February, or if it was going to be in the fall when he got back.
From the time I bought the ring to the time I was leaving for spring training, there wasn't a big window there, and I knew I definitely wanted to do it before I left for spring training. So we tried to coordinate kind of a surprise party, going away party for me / engagement party, because it just didn't seem like it was really going to be too easy to pull together or work out, and I didn't want to propose and just leave and go to spring training. So it kind of came together all spur of the moment. The weekend of the Super Bowl, we went and we met in Houston, but it worked out really good because she's not thinking, it's a spur of the moment trip to Houston. She's not thinking that, I would have time to plan anything. But sure enough, I got on the phone with her parents, told them where we were going to be, exactly what time to be there.
And it was kind of rainy all day, but he really wanted to go to the park. So we went to the park, and we had brought Bo with us, and we were just throwing the ball around, went for a walk all the way around the park, and we ended up at this bench right in front of the pond. It was sunset, but you couldn't really see it because it was really cloudy outside. We sat there for a really long time, I think like an hour, and he kept kind of pointing at the ducks, and his brother was going to show up, and I just said, Logan, have them meet us at dinner. I'm freezing. I was kind of complaining a lot, but he ended up, after about 45 minutes of waiting for his brother, who I'm looking for over here, I guess he got a text message from his dad, and at that point he the whole time he had been trying to bring up all these great memories that he had of us, and some really special things that we'd done in the past. And he finally, once he got the text from his dad, he asked me, well, do you want to spend the rest of your life with me? And I was like, maybe. I had no idea where it was going. Or else I probably would have said something a little bit better then. And then he looked at Bo. He's like, well, what about Bo? And I was like, oh, yes, absolutely, I do. So then he said, do you want to know why we're really here? And he got down on one knee and didn't say anything. He just opened up the box, and my head just went down into my hands. And once our moment was kind of over, he said, turn around. And I turned around, and my entire family and his entire family were there behind us, watching and taking pictures.
Well, you don't ever want to say that you absolutely need somebody, but I think I truly need Erin. It's kind of a weird feeling for me, or it was a bit of an adjustment, but I like it. I'm glad that she's there for me, and I need her and she needs me, and we're both always there for each other. So it works out really good,
Logan, I am so honored and excited to become Mrs. Verrett tomorrow. And I thank you for putting up with me throughout this engagement, and I thank you for all of the support throughout all of my endeavors, the pageant and doing study abroad. And I just look forward to supporting you throughout everything that you do in life, whether it be baseball or whatever the next step is after that. I am so excited to go on all these different adventures and to just do life with you. It's going to be wonderful, and I am just so glad that I met you at such a young age so that we get to spend at least 75 years together. So thank you so much for all that you do, and I love you so much and can't wait to marry you tomorrow.
Erin, I want to especially thank you for 1, for picking me, 2, for putting up with me, and 3, for just always being there for me. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow, all up, dressed up in your beautiful gown, your hair done, and just to see that smile on your face when I first see you in your dress. It's going to be a day that we remember for the rest of our lives, and we cherish for the rest of our lives. And I can't think of anyone else that I would rather share this moment with. And just thank you for loving me.